So I really wanted to have something good to say about this event, but there's just really not that much to say. So this is an event review for Operation Freedom at Black Ops Airsoft in Bristol, Wisconsin. First, I'm going to start off with the pros, then the cons, and then the overall verdict. The facility itself, Black Ops Airsoft, is really exceptional. I have to say that up front. The field is massive, and there's a ton of time and work and effort that looks like it got put into that place. Just a lot of attention to detail. Everything looked really great, from the town area to out in the woods, the roads. Everything looks like it was really well maintained, and again, thought out. The facility itself, the tech shop, and the shop itself seems really great. It's nice to go to an airsoft location where they have all of the things that you could possibly need on hand. With the shop and the tech shop, they also had fresh food being cooked. So there was people grilling, serving food, fresh water and soda and stuff like that. So that made it really easy to take a break, come off the field, repack, get some food, hang out, just chill out with your friends for a while. That's really good stuff, and it makes for a really entertaining weekend. Another perk was the fact that they had actual vehicles driving around. These vehicles were considered armored vehicles or troop carriers. They had mounted weapon systems on them where people could get inside and then man the guns. That's super cool. It made for dynamic gameplay. They also had a helicopter, or helicopter rides, if you want to call it that, where I think you pay in advance and then schedule 8 minutes, I think it was, where you go around the field twice and then you go and land and you come back and you play. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Just a really cool field, dynamic gameplay with vehicles, a good environment with a shop and food. Those are the best things that I could say about it as far as the whole event goes. Now we're going to get into the cons. The cons are kind of like the meat and the potatoes for the entire event. I thought one of the biggest cons was the bleed out time and the respawn locations. So for the respawn, it could be located on one corner of the field, and that could be like a 10-minute walk. So let's say you die on one side of the field, then you have to walk back like 10 minutes and then walk back. So that's like 20 minutes you could be looking at just walking. I mean, it's possible. It depends on how fast you walk, or if you're, even at a brisk walk, maybe bring it down to like 5 minutes, from one point to another, but then you're going to be winded by the time you get back into the fight. That, coupled with the 3-minute bleed out time, made for a lot of just sitting around. And I'd say for $100, I don't want to be sitting down. I don't want to be sitting out and not being able to play. I want to just die and then go and respawn. So with that being said, that also brings up the fact that if you have a 3-minute bleed out time and an assault fails, then you have a massive reinforcement of enemy players come through, overtake your position, and that's that. This leads into the next thing, objectives. There were no real objectives. It ended up just being attack and defend / team deathmatch. Now, if you know me, I like team deathmatch. I like just getting it on, getting out there, taking down as many people as possible. It makes for really basic but simple and fun gameplay, and I can get down with that. Again, at a $100 price point, I can do attack and defend and team deathmatch pretty much at any other location. Another big con to me, as far as gameplay goes, is the fact that Rifleman couldn't go full auto. Now, I understand that a lot of places do semi for Rifleman and up, so Rifleman, DMR, Sniper, I got all that. But when you have an LMG that's going full auto, that's around the same kinetic energy, joule rating, FPS, whatever they're graded at. But the Rifleman, if at that kind of range, because the field was so large, you need to be able to do full auto. I mean, it kind of breaks the immersion when you can't just like spray down a corridor or shoot across the field to keep a ton of other players suppressed. I mean, you might get like 20 people coming at you at once, and if you're sitting there one shot at a time and they're running through the woods, you're not going to hit anything. And that's what I ended up encountering a bunch over the 2 days. Now, this is all personal opinion. This is my play style. I don't want to be sitting there fighting with people, potentially not calling their hits, or it being very difficult to tell if you hit somebody at all because you're shooting through a bunch of brush. Now, the entire field wasn't just forested brush areas. It was really open in a lot of spots, but people were utilizing small, teeny branches and bushes to hide behind. And when you're shooting through those bushes, you can't tell if you're hitting them, and nobody's going to call it. So it puts people in a bad spot, which ended up happening on the second day. There was a ton of fighting near the end of the second day. People not calling their hits. I don't know if it was on both sides or whatever, but it ended up bringing the game to a complete halt because people were just hiding in these bushes, even though you know for a fact that a lot of those BBs probably are going through a couple leaves. They just weren't calling their hits. You'll be able to see all of that in the gameplay. Now, my experience is my own. If other people had different experiences there, that's great. I'm going to try it again in the future and see if it's any different. If it's the same thing again, then who knows? Maybe I'll go, maybe I won't go. I just want this just to be an opportunity for people to know what to expect, how much it costs, and what you're going to get for your $100. So hopefully you guys appreciate this, and I help some people out with making purchases for events for this year. Take care.